Good evening, everybody. I made a promise this morning that I was going to try to get one in tonight. I'm going to try to get a quick one. Steph and the girls are on their way home from gymnastics, or will be soon. But I'm going to try to get in. I just got back. You can hear Spry in the background. So this is number 60. Kind of interesting to think that we've come that far. But welcome, guys. I want you to literally just walked in the house. I had these two with me. That's Ellie, and I had Taylor. They were with me today at the shop. Mike Schulte's in, Nicole's in. Good evening, guys. Brittany's in. I've gotten away from doing some of the evening ones, and I need to get back on it. So I think we do a lot better as far as making it flexible for people to watch live. The thing about the live is it's useless if we don't have interaction. I found that. Now I still think it's not useless what we've been doing. We just have smaller numbers in the morning, but hey, gotta work, right? So Brittany's back to watch live again. Stephanie's in, Joe is in. Welcome, guys. So I just got home. This is a really real life scenario. Just got back. Spry has been in the kennel for the last couple hours. I dropped her off earlier today, went back to the shop, and then I'm back now to let her out. So she's got to go to the bathroom, I'm sure of that. So what I want to do is I want to show you what we're working on. We're working on her coming out of that kennel controlled. So she's all ready to go. April's in, welcome April, Chris Hines, Carson. Good evening, guys. Share away. This is how we're going to try to grow this thing. Becky Schreiber's in, Jenny Becker, hey. Go ahead and share away, guys. We're going to try to grow the following of our Live with Sprys. It's something that I've realized we've really been able to help, I think, quite a few people so far, and I think we can help a whole lot more. The way to do it is with your support. I won't be able to do it on my own. I need you guys to help me out with that. Billy, welcome, Billy. Billy looks like a new name to me. I don't know. Sam Tripp, welcome, Sam. I don't know if I think we're gonna get some new names. I think that's good. Guys, welcome. Everybody, welcome. I'm gonna let Spry out here. Spry. Now, Spry comes out under control. She's so habitual, she wants to sit right away. Come here. Come on over closer. Sit. Now you can see she's really coming out these days under a lot of control. Here's her regular routine. She's going to go out, right? She's not going out until I take her out. Now, for anyone who's new, I want to really, really pound in the idea of we are weeks into this. We're 9 weeks into this, I think. Spry. I'm going to let her out. Her routine remains the same. We let the pup out. We're going to have her do her business. She's going to go to the bathroom. Then I'm going to get her back in. I thought about doing a few other things out tonight, but we're just not going to have the time tonight. Hurry up. Hurry up. Good girl. Good girl. For her own dignity, I won't show her. Good girl. Now, I'm going to let her sniff around a little bit because recall is always where people have problems. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come here. Good. Good. So I'm just going to get a little bit of recall in out in the yard here. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Good. All right. Come on. Now, I'm not going to call her off sit. You guys know why. I'm not calling a dog out. Look at who wants to go in first because she knows what's going on. It's getting close to dinner time. Before we have dinner, we're going to do some heel work. I'm actually going to sneak in a little bit of recall with her. So I'm kind of throwing a curveball at her. I'm going to let her drift off on me. Come here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Good girl. Here, sit. Sit. Good girl. So we're practicing recall. I think one of the problems is people work on recall very few times during the day. And when good evening, Greg, Kelly Primix in, Amber's in, Mike Schreiber. I think a lot of people practice recall and then they kennel them up. They practice recall, or they beller at their dog. Come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. Good girl. That's a good girl. That was a big test. Huge test. I know right where she was going, and you guys do too. Chicken coop. So I'm able to get her to understand when he wants me to come, man, something good's going to happen. He's going to praise me. He's going to love me. Now, I know a lot of you are going, come on, let's go. I'm going to bring her in. It's windy out, hard to hear right now. Brian Quigley's in. Greg, good evening. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. Here's a big tempting situation. Dogs all over. Come here. Spry. Come here. Sit. I try to dial her in and get her under control. So, KM Cutters, hello. I saw Cam sent me a message. I didn't get a chance to read it yet. I got several messages, guys, after our live this morning that I got to go back on. Some were questions, some were novels. I think someone described it as a novel. So I got some long ones to look at. I'll reply back to those hopefully yet tonight. But what I was saying was, I think recall gets practiced at the wrong times. Sometimes we're practicing our recall when we put the pup out to go to the bathroom. That's a really tough time to teach anything because there's all kinds of distractions, there's all kinds of sense. Spry struggled with recall. Spry struggled with recall around 12 to 13 weeks. Prior to that, she didn't want to be left alone, and she usually would follow me. Got to a point where she was bold enough where she went, I don't think I really want to come in right now. And so I had to figure out her recall is her weakness, and I have to work on it. And the time to work on it is not in the yard. The time to work on it was back in here, and you watch back. So we started when we were 7.5 weeks old. So about 5 weeks into it, if you look at the dates on those, watch what we spent a lot of time on. I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm not sure if it's exactly at 5 weeks or what, but I'm just thinking back over the last 9 weeks of training. We went through a spell where we worked on recall, sit, remote sit, which is what we're doing right now. Aaron Garlock is in. Welcome, Aaron. We went through those phases and we practiced them a lot here in this house. We practiced them in this mudroom to begin with. Then we moved to the kitchen, or the hallway, then to the kitchen, then to the house, and now we're to where we are. But it took us a while. So if you're new to this, don't think that this is where, I don't care how old your dog is. This pup's going to be 17 weeks on Friday. So if you go, oh, my dog's older than that, I should be beyond that. Not if you don't have the foundation leading up to this. I wouldn't have it either if I didn't have the foundation. So I'm going to bring her in. I've got her in. Now, one of the things I wanted to do tonight was I wanted to build off of our lesson this morning. I'm big. You guys know how I'm big. Now, the whole time I've been jabbering, we've been practicing. It's been a nice little remote sit. When I say remote sit, we had a question about that this morning. What do you mean by remote sit? I mean the dog sits remote from me and is patient and steady and waits. No creeping, no breaking, no sneaking. If she lays down, I love it because it tells me that she is in for the long haul. She knows she's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I don't mind dogs laying down. You can just see the distraction at that point got to be too much. There's probably about her focus amount of time that I can get out of her with focus. I don't know how long it was, 4 or 5 minutes. But I've got a dog right next to her. Very tempting. There's no way I would ask a little puppy to sit this close to that dog, but we've built off of our remote sit to the point where I'm gonna have to set her up and have some potential distractions. Doug, hello. Jake, hello. Welcome, guys. Do me a favor, guys. Share away on this. Hoping to try to build our following. More questions, more people that we can help. I talked about these lives. The value of the lives are more interaction. Otherwise, it's just, you can YouTube this stuff and just watch a bunch of videos. I mean, you still can YouTube a bunch of good stuff out there. But the live portion of it is where the value is. So please go ahead, share away on these. So I'm going to flip. And I'm going to spin this. I'm going to set it into our tripod here. And then I'm going to work on our heel work. And I'll explain to you, it's an extension of what we did this morning. Now, tonight, it's going to be a little bit distracting. So I'm actually going to try. I always talk about setting yourself up for success. Don't set your dog up to fail. Most of the time when there's problems and issues, I'm going to move so you guys can see her. She doesn't know I'm looking at her. She certainly knows that I'm not talking to her. There's distraction right now between me and her, and that's me and you. I talk about that all the time. This camera gets in the way a lot. I don't recommend you doing this to start out with. I recommend you getting good at stuff before you start filming it and sending it to me. I think you should, because I can pick up on stuff and I can help little details, but not until you get good without the phone and the camera. That gets in the way. It breaks the communication. So, oh, we got the gymnastics are here. No.
Oh boy.
Real life.
Distractions.
So, epic fail. It's all right. Sit. Whose fault was that? Not mine. Not hers. She broke. Absolutely, she broke. She's not capable of that kind of distraction yet. So, Steph and Red come home singing after gymnastics. Sit. So I'm going to back up. You're going to see some really, really live stuff tonight. I'm not even going to worry about heel work right now. I'm going to worry about steadiness. She's very excited and ready to go. Now, I don't even want to talk to the camera right now. I just want to pay attention to this pup. Because we just got things really exciting around here. New people came in. How many of you have problems at home when someone new comes to your house and all of a sudden the dog loses his mind? Just had it, okay? So my focus is going to be new people here. They're not new, she knows them, but she's excited. So I'm going to make sure she's calm and focused and works through this. Now she broke, so whose fault was it? It was mine, I recognize that, but I had to correct it quickly, pick her back up and put her back in the exact same spot. We start over. Now I've got nice focus. Look at her eyes. She's really dialing in on me. She's hearing things in our house. You can go through it, go. This will be a test.
Can I say hi to either of you?
Not to her.
Hi, Facebook. Feel it.
So this is something I did not plan on doing. Had no intentions of doing this. That's why it's nice when it's live, because we had a problem. How did we fix it? I changed my plan. My plan was to do heel work. If it was scooter, we got a scooter. Sit. Now part of it too is I'm extending it too long. So someone asked me this morning, my dog's good on remote sit for about 15 seconds, but that's it. How do I correct them when they move? You don't. You get 15 seconds to 16 seconds, and then 16 seconds to 17 seconds, and you slowly build on it. Right now, I think we're hovering around that 3 or 4 minute mark before she loses her focus and she starts to butt scoot on me. She's creeping. So instead of being a dummy and going, oh, you need to wait 5, 6, 7 minutes, no. I got to figure out where she loses her focus, push it right to that limit, and then get her out of it and end it with success. Because right now, we didn't get anything out of that last sit. Her moving and me readjusting, maybe we got something with her understanding that I can't move, I'm going to get into trouble if I move, but it's probably my fault more than anything. I can't blame her for that. She's got great focus right now. What are you looking for? Oh, Red's getting her sucker. Someone gave her a sucker earlier. Okay, so to build off of the remote sit, I went and I get the leash. Now tonight I'm using the flat collar. I used it again this morning. I used the flat because my little slip is out of position. It's not working as well. So one of the things I'm working with her on is an extension of this morning, and that's turning into her instead of away. So I'm going to put the collar on her, just slip it over her. I'm going to warm her up with a little bit of heel work. Come on, come on. And I'm going to do the easy part. I'm going to turn away from her. So I'm going to make turn away, turn away. You're going to see. And she's now distractions. This might not work. I might not be able to do this. Can we put Ellie on that place for me? So I'm going to move Ellie because I don't think it's fair to have this distraction. Look how amped up this dog gets. Sit. Ellie's moving around, Mom's moving around, and she's just losing it. So it's really not a good time to be training on this. It's not a good time to do something new. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait. Let her work through this. She's got to learn to be patient at all times. When you go somewhere and the dog wants to get fussy and antsy, you don't always have the option to just move, keep moving, do something different. Sometimes the dog has to realize, I'm in it for the long haul. These are where we practice that. I don't practice this at the mall. I don't practice this in a school with a bunch of distractions. I don't practice this. I practice it right here at home and get her really good at this. patience. You just gotta wait a lot. But when you get a dog that'll wait a lot, calm and quiet and not be a pester, not whining, not crying, not fussing, not raising all kinds of problems, man, they're really nice to take places. So we have to ingrain that in them early, if possible. And when I say early, it doesn't matter. 2 years old and younger, they're puppies. 4-year-old, can you train them to do something new? Absolutely. But you got to realize they got a lot of habits that you might have to reverse first. This is nice. Little tail wags. So now I'm going to heel her out. Spry. Good. Now remember, Spry's an exception to the rule. Spry's probably one of the easier dogs I've ever worked with heel on. She's also an exception to the rule. She's probably one of the worst natural retrieving dogs I've had. So take the good with the bad. Now, that was nice. Now what I want to do is I want to turn into her. So I'm building off what we did this morning. This requires her body to bend differently. Again, I watched the video from this morning. This is my left hand. I heel my dogs on my left side. When I film this, it's completely backwards. So you're going to say, he's such a liar. He's got her on her right. No, I swear, this is my left-hand side. This is her. So everything I do in every video, it looks like I'm always lining the dog with the right hand. This is my right hand. I'm not. I'm lining them. I am using my right hand over my left side. So it's always opposite. So I'm going to heel her. I'm going to turn her into me. So the best way I can describe this is, the hard part is her butt has to lead. It's really hard for someone like this, a little pup like this, to understand lead. First thing moves is my butt and the front end follows. She's used to following the front end with the butt. Okay? So you're going to see, when I come up and stop, if this is my dog's body, if this is the tail and this is the front end, when I turn into her, I'm asking her to get her feet right, which means her back end is going to have to bend like this. Her back's going to have to go like this in order for her front to rotate around. Where she's used to turning like this with the front. The front goes first and the butt follows. So if that happens, when I turn and she turns the wrong way, it doesn't work. We end up jamming up, and I'll show you that. Heel. Come on. Heel. So the lead's going to help me. See? She's turning the wrong way. Okay? Hard to see at a distance. I'm trying to turn some lights on here so you can see. Come on. Heel. See how out of position she is? And her escape is sit. This is really uncomfortable. It's really awkward. Doesn't feel right. I'm going to sit down because usually Dad's okay when I sit. So that was an escape on her part. Now watch how well she turns when I go the opposite way. You. Comes right with me. She's a little bit behind. I wish she could. Come on. She's a little behind. That was better. Come on. Come on. I wish she'd get a step forward, but I'm not going to complain at this point. Good. I'd rather have her a step forward. Come on. Yeah. Now I'm going to do the opposite into her. She goes, oh no, this is not what we're supposed to do. See how she's out of position, so what does she do? She sits. She goes, I'll sit. So now I have to help her. I have to help her. She has no idea what I want out of her right now. She doesn't get it, so she's sitting down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap her with the lead and help her get in position. I'm going to try to get first her body to get in position, and then I'll worry about the butt later. I'm not even worried about the butt. I just want her to spin around with me. Even if it's incorrect, at least she's spinning around and not sitting. Here. Good. Good. So I had to help her a lot there. Come on. her to sit. Good. There. 3 times and she's catching. Good. No. No, come on. Just trying to keep her feet moving. Come on. You'll notice I'm bellying out too. Come on. I'm not walking the straight line I usually do. So at least she's turning with me right now. Notice how she's turning with me? She's just turning the wrong way. So tonight, I'm going to take this as a big win. Is red on the computer right now?
Yeah.
Is that where all the pink hearts are coming from? When all of a sudden I see a lot of pink hearts and stuff coming, I always figure red's on the other computer. Sit. Good. Okay. I'm okay with that. And the reason I'm okay with that is because we really had kind of a rough session here. It just didn't click. I'm a little short. Like, admittedly, my blood pressure is just, I don't feel like she's connecting with me very good. So right now, we're not having a very good lesson. So I am going to be happy with it because I did get, if you'll notice, watch back those last 4 times. She turned with me. She turned. Now, she turned the wrong way. If here's her body, she turned this way and went around. When I turned into her, she's on this side. So I'm going to use this hand because it's easier to see it. She'd be on this side of me. Here's her body, here's her tail, here's her head. When her body turned, it went like this first and then followed around. Where what I want it to do is go this. My fingers don't move. They're still pointed at you. What moved was her butt. And then spin around. So I'm going to bring Ellie over again and show that. I did that this morning. So I'm going to take her off. I'm fine with it. Fine with the lesson because at least I got her to move. I got her to not skip out and sit on me. Come here. Come on. So I'm going to put her up on place. And you guys know, you can see, she's kind of fighting me tonight. She's kind of fighting everything I want her to do. Part of it is I do feel like I'm a little short with her. But for her to buck at me to get on the place, and we're done. I'm just going to be done with her tonight. Now I'm going to bring Ellie over. Ellie, come here. Because I really want to show you the position I'm looking for. Ellie, come here. Come on. Come on. So this will be a good test for Spry, and I'm glad you can see her. She's still on her place. This is for anyone who's new, because I'm thinking we're going to start getting some new people. If we share it, we're going to get new people. And people, I've had questions today. The reason I say that is because I've had some questions today where people ask me, what's this whole place thing about? Now, Angie, I saw just put a post up tonight. She's got people asking her. She's place training with her dog. And her dog's older. And she's having a lot of success. And people are asking, what's this whole place thing about? So I had some people ask me about it. This is where it comes in really valuable. So she's on place. You're going to be able to see that. But I also am going to have you I want to show you the body language that I want with Spry. Now pay attention to her front end and her back end. Her back end is what I'm trying to get to move first. And it's really being precise down with her feet. So watch this. This is what I'm trying to get to with Ellie. So this session looks a lot like this morning's. Tomorrow's will probably look a lot like tonight's. Tomorrow evening would probably look a lot like. I'm going to be super repetitious. Because I know for a fact, the only way I'm going to get past these hurdles, they're not bad, but my dog doesn't heel very well right now. She heels pretty good, and I've been talking about how good she does in heel. Well, she does good for starting out. She's not done. She's got to get a lot better. So I'm going to be doing the same thing over and over and over. So if you're new to these and you don't like repetition and consistency, maybe the wrong little series to watch. Because it's very repetitious. But the thing about it is, it'll be very repetitious for a couple days in a row, and all of a sudden the light bulbs will go on, things will click with my dog, and then I'll go, yes. Now I can add another layer to it. I'm a broken record with that stuff. back up 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 weeks, you'll see how far we've come with Spry. Like nearly unrecognizable at this point from when we very first started. And 9 weeks, boy, that's a long time. It went by like this. A lot of the people that are watching right now have puppies at home. I'm going to ask you, think back 6 weeks ago. How quickly has the last 6 weeks gone with your dog's training? It's going to go like right now. So I'm going to show you what I'm trying to get at with her. This is a great opportunity for her to be steady on her place because we're going to walk past her 5 times. Now I got to think what dog's name is. Is Ellie? Heel. I'm going to start out with my opposite turns. So she's going to be on the outside because then I'm going to try to catch her. You can see how loose the leash is. The leash is not having any influence other than feel of connection to her. She feels me through it. Now I'm going to reverse it and turn the opposite way. See how nice that butt swung around? Oh, she's really anticipating it even. I'm slowing myself down. Great test of patience and steadiness for Spry. There, she got out of position on that one. I caught her. I don't know why, but I totally caught her off guard. She looked like silly. She looked silly. She's out of position. I'm trying to get real efficient. Pretty efficient. Two hops and we had it. Now why do I... There she turned the wrong way. Bad bend. Why am I so picky about heel work? Wrong bend. There. So I ended on that one. Why am I so darn picky about this? Here's why. Because everything I do is going to be done at a distance for my dogs. I'm going to work with them at a distance. They're never going to be shed hunting at my side. They're never going to be bird hunting at my side. Maybe, but not truly flushing or anything. On heel they will be, honoring, but it all starts right here because I want them to be under control out there, and I can't control them out there if I don't have control of them here. So this is stuff that's going to help me not only with hunting, but it's also going to help me with when I go to the soccer game this summer. Sierra, we're going to go to a field that says no dogs allowed. We bring a dog almost every single time. And how many people do you think have said anything to us? Now I don't want to just sound like a big rebel, but we bring a dog with, no one says a word. And the reason I think most people think, boy, it must be a service dog or something. But so I'm this big rebel going in with no dog area, and I bring a dog. And the reason no one says a word is because my dog is better behaved than most of their kids. And it all starts right here with heel. So that helps me in that situation. Now, in the field, I'm hunting, and I wing a bird, and it sails, and it's 200 yards out, and it went into some really, really thick cover. And my dog didn't see it get to it. Didn't see the bird go down. We're still going to get that bird. And the reason we're going to get that bird is because I'm going to be able to line the dog, send the dog, handle the dog back, right, left, whatever I have to do, navigate through cover or obstacles or whatever. We're going to get to it and we're going to make the retrieve. That's the point of training a good retriever. How am I going to be able to do that at a distance of 250 yards if I can't get a dog to listen to me at 2.5 feet? It all starts here. Then it goes to here, then to here, then to here, then to here. But my drills, the drills that I do with a shed dog, if I can't have good heel work, I can't do the drills I want to do to train my dog to shed hunt. Because my drills require it. I have to do that stuff. So it all is, that's why I'm putting such a big importance on the foundation. Heel, sit, stay, come when I call you. If you can get a dog to do those things, be steady, be calm, be patient, be quiet. If you can get a dog to do those things, man, training dogs is fun. Because you can do so many things. So, last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to round this out. I'm going to take food. I've got Ellie right here. I've got Taylor over there. I'm going to take this one. Let's see. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over, flip this back around. I'm going to finish this out. Good girl. Come on. No. She wants to go right for the food. Come. Come here. Come here. Now there's a temptation. When you can call that little puppy away from that food, your no recall has some power to it. You sit. Taylor, come here. Taylor, come on. Taylor, come on. Ellie scoots out on me. Come here. Taylor, sit. Ellie, come here. Ellie. Ellie, come on. Come on. Come on. Now sit. Now sit. Don't you scoot, little girl. Taylor. Now, these two clowns are going to watch her eat. She's the oldest. She's the biggest. She's going to eat first. Now, who's saying angry faces? Someone's putting angry faces. So, I'm going to start scrolling back and reading through these. Who is that that's doing angry faces? Why are you angry? See, I'm affected greatly by outside influences. I see angry faces, I go, what's the matter? Alright, I'm going to go through and see if there's some questions here. Then I'm going to, when this one's done feeding, then this one's up. And when that one's done feeding, then little pup's up. So patience, patience, patience. Honoring the rest of the pack. Really knowing where we are in the pack. I think that's so important. I had someone ask questions about that today. About establishing how to figure out their dog's listening to them really well, but not the kids or the wife. Well, what can I do to fix that with the dog? What corrections can I do, I think was the wording. How can I correct the dog when it nips and bites? It's not correcting the dog when it nips and bites, it's correcting the kids and the mom to figure out how to establish where they are in the pack. My 17-year-old niece is borrowing my copy of Puppy Training DVD for a 10-week-old puppy. Perfect, April. Red, April says hello. Hello, she says. Natalie Anderson's in. Welcome, Natalie. Andy Lund joined in. Dakota, good evening, everyone. Going to have to catch this one later. No problem. Alejandro is back. Welcome, Alejandro. Alejandro gave us a review. I really appreciate that, Alejandro. I have to thank you guys for, first off, the feedbacks, the comments, all that stuff. That's what keeps me going. That's what motivates me. I also want to thank you guys. I've had a lot of people give us really good, what do you call it? Reviews, I guess, when you review the page and that. So I thank you for that, you guys. Let's see. What's the best way to deal with a dog with separation anxiety? I always question, I always question this, Chris. It's not that I don't think it happens. I think it's one of those things that's become a real buzzword, separation anxiety. I think it's a lot like, I think it's a thing that has become a really good excuse for dogs to say, oh, he has separation anxiety. That's why he's doing this or that. So let me ask you, Chris, because I don't truly understand separation anxiety, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think dogs get nervous. I think dogs, I think they can have a sense of abandonment, just like a person can. But if a dog chews up the flooring in your kitchen while you're gone away at work, and you come home and it wrecked the couch or chewed on the stairway or something, ripped up all your shoes, I don't know, name whatever, did some damage, had bad accidents all over, all this stuff. If that happens, I've heard a lot of people say it's, my dog's got real bad separation anxiety. No, it's you set your dog up to fail. So explain to me what you mean by the separation anxiety, Chris, because I'm not I'm not sure. I think different people have different definitions. I love the fact that this is your daily life and not staged. You can see how, yeah, totally, Brittany. Like tonight when the girls came in, that affected the training process. And I just had to adjust. Didn't affect it bad or good, it just, I had to adjust. So I appreciate that. A little late, but Jamie got in, yes. Carrie was in, Wayne Pruitt from Tennessee. Welcome, Wayne. How's that dog doing down there? I haven't seen any updates lately. Last I remember, you were teething, I think, weren't you? Or getting close to teething. Awesome that you still have the eyes as you are clearly talking to us. Yeah, it's hard, Chris. The eyes would be a lot better if I wasn't doing this phone thing. And you guys see that sometimes. Okay, so this one's done. Good job, you're done. Go place. Go on, go lay down. She's gonna go have her laid up. Now look what happened in the meantime. I didn't even catch it, but look who laid down. Old Ellie girl said, well, I'm gonna be here a while. I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna whine, I'm not gonna fuss. Ellie gets her turn. And Spry will draw the last straw. But that's okay. Someday she might get to eat first. And I may mix it up. But for now, this is just easy ways of us establishing where she is. Justin Jones got in late. No problem, Justin. You can always go back. When Lucy does heel, well, she is a step behind too. I'm better with a step behind than a step forward. I just wish, and I think it will come, because we're only into it very, very little as far as progress. Part of it will come with confidence. I'm going to plug this in because you can see she's scooting. She's actually scooting backwards. She's moved one grid tile. If she moves any more, I'm going to correct it. This is a long stay for her. So Scotty is good on sit as long as he can see me. If I go into another room out of sit, he breaks and comes looking, even if voice command is given while out advice. Yeah, catch him, Wayne. So practice that. The other day I put dogs on sit and I close the door and they think I'm gone and the door has a window and they don't even know it. And all of a sudden the dog moves, and the second it moves I open the door. Like I'm only 3 feet away from it. They don't know that. You can peek around the corner. So your problem is the dog's breaking when you leave the room. I would be practicing 100% about leaving the room with a remote sit and a dog understanding, oh my God, he's still there. Problem is if you leave the room and don't have the ability to catch the dog coming off of it, and all of a sudden you first know that he came off of it and he's in the other room, too much time has passed. Too much time has passed, too much distance has passed, and all you're doing is correcting him for coming to you, not for leaving his place. So you got to set it up, Wayne. You got to set up the scenario so that you can catch him doing it and have him understand Wayne is always there, dog. He's always there. And then all of a sudden build off of that. So you might be really good on sit as long as he can see you, but you're terrible when he can't see you. So now you need to go back to the beginning of when it was when you first put him on sit, when he could see you. You probably couldn't leave him for very long, but a short period of time, and then add a little more, and then add a little more, and then add a little more. Same thing is going to be when you leave the room. Confidence in him sitting and remaining really, really permanent is what you need. And that'll take repetition. Take a lot of time to do it. A lot of times doing it. Wyatt Anderson joined in. Welcome, Wyatt. Missy's in. Good evening. Isn't she about to start teething? I think she's very close to teething. I checked her this morning in our video. Doesn't appear that she is, but I think she's very close. I have noticed she's gotten to be a little bit, she just seems unhappy. If you're on Instagram, you would have seen me today. I did an Instagram story. Come on, go lay down. So I'm gonna get this girl. Come on, Ellie. Come on, go lay down. Go tell her to get on her place. Spry gets her food out. Very good. Spry. And now she can get hers. On our Instagram story this morning, today, I showed her. She was chewing on her bed. She was whiny. She was chewing on her bed. I caught her doing it, and I think she's just been. I think the best way to describe it is she's just doesn't feel very comfortable. I think she's on the brink of teething. So, yeah, she is going to be close. Now, her sister, her twin sister, up in Michigan that belongs to Chris and Megan Smith, we're going to be with. I'm actually going to see them this weekend. We have made plans to do liver drags. I'm hoping we'll have reception. If not, we'll be filming it. But my plan is to be able to film that live. Her sister has done them already. This dog hasn't. So, but I talked with him today, and his dog, her sister, has wiggly teeth. So she has started teething. So, yes, we're going to be very, very close. Glad to see the bumpers on the website. Very good, Wayne. You caught that. Chris, you saw them. We are making final adjustments to it, but they are live, I believe, right now. Order quickly. Chance and I, and the reason I say that is because I don't know if the pricing is right. The pricing might be low, so you get a deal on them if you order them quick. Chance and I are working on heel. I have a long ways to go. We all have a long ways to go, Jamie. Don't feel like you're in the boat yourself there. So Jordan joined in. Willie Marlin, our buddy from Oklahoma, joined in. Welcome, Willie. Had a great heel session today. Went to a soccer field and walked on the line to make sure he stayed straight and close. And she did great on sits and even some turns. Recall was not very good. I can call her from food, but get some distractions and she loses it all. That's what you got to work on, Justin. Got to work on that. Sounds really good. I like the idea of using a straight line to keep you straight. I love that. My fear with soccer fields are a lot of scent. Grass is hard to practice heel work on. So be careful. If you start losing that focus because of that, that's the reason. So I'm always big on concrete, hard floors, less, something with a hard floor, a lot less scent. I wouldn't normally practice in my kitchen the way I do. It just works well because we have Wi-Fi. I've got a front porch that I'm going to be doing it on pretty quick. That's concrete. I'll be showing you that. Now, when she gets done, I'm going to let her clean everything up, and then I'm going to put her on sit. I'm not going to place her tonight. These guys are on place. She's not going to be. I'm going to let her just sit. But pick this up. Here. Sit. Sit. Now, watch the square she's in, because that's what's this is not place. This does not mean you can move around at free will. This means you sit. And my hope is that she goes, "Ugh, I'm here a while, I'll lay down." But this is where we got to avoid creepers. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it and keep reading through some of these. Working on heel today with Duke. He did so well and it feels so good. Hold on to that feeling, Doug. Remember what it feels like, because when it gets rough, you're going to remember these good times, because I'm promising you it will get rough again. With the nice weather, how long do you leave Spry tied out? Hours. I don't care. I tie out Thor and he settles pretty darn quick, so I'm not sure how long. I let her out on tie out yesterday for 2.5, 3 hours. I think what you want to do is because she doesn't whine. She doesn't fuss much. She moans a little bit on it. I hear her a little bit, not much, but she doesn't bark and yap and fuss and fight and do all that stuff that is really, really real annoying. That's when I want to let her settle and then take her off. Reward her for settling and then take her off. But eventually I build this up to be something that she doesn't fight anymore. Then you just leave her. I think tie out is a really nice way for her to have some new scenery. Under control. She's not going to get into trouble when she's on her tie out. I have a setup. My dogs tend to dig in my yard, so I've got her on gravel. She's much less likely to dig holes there. But yeah, you can leave Thor can be left out, especially in this weather. As long as he's not fighting and fussing it, then just leave him out there. But if he fusses and fights it forever and then he shuts up, let him understand that that's what's going to get him off, is being quiet. Then when you change, now what you're doing is forming the habit of just be quiet on the tie out. Don't fight. Don't be a pain. Just accept it. Give into it and realize it's really not that bad. Then you can leave them tied out. So I leave them tied out when it's nice out for long periods of time. Problem I'm going to have in the summer is I don't have good shade. And so when I tie my dogs out and the sun gets up too high and it gets too warm, I can't leave them out. I just don't have the right setup for shade. I got to figure out a better way to do that. See how she's scooting? Now her butt hasn't moved a lot, but her front end is spun around. So I'm going to be a little bit more critical of her. First time here, really enjoying it. Thanks so much. Patrick, you bet. Patrick, my warning to you is, if it's your first time in tonight, don't plug yourself. I don't know where you are with your dog, and I don't know your age and the age and all that stuff, but don't plug into this and go, this is where I need to be because this is where I started watching. I really urge you to go back and watch from the beginning, and there's some time there. It's going to take you a while, but you're going to see this didn't start like this. This started out ugly, very, very, very modest, very, very simple, and we've slowly added to it. And over the next, so we've got maybe 9 weeks, I think, into this right now, almost 10 weeks. So that's what, 2.5 months? Not very long. 2.5 months from now, I would probably tell you, look back 2.5 months and you'll see we really didn't have much done. We're a lot further now than we were then. And then 2.5 months from there, I'm going to say the same thing, because I think we're constantly looking to improve. This dog is far from where she needs to be, but I think she's doing well for her age. She's doing well for the amount of experience she has. So we're going to continue to build on it. That other dog that I walked today, she's going to be 2 years old this fall. I haven't even hunted that dog. She's going to be a damn good dog. But I'm going to make sure that we're really good for the rest of her life. So her first season will be this fall, and she'll be 2. She's going to be awesome. She's going to be really good. Because I'm going to put a lot of stuff into her before I expose her to things that could create issues. So I'm going to enjoy her for 10 solid years of hunting instead of getting 11 years of hunting of mediocre. I'd rather have 10 great years because I took 1 extra year to get her real good than hunt her too soon and struggle for 11 years, if that makes sense. Anthony's in with Courtney. We have another excellent place training going on right now. Aaron Garlock, you sent, Aaron is the one, I don't know if I talked about it this morning or the other day. I'm going to be sharing 2 videos that Aaron sent me, and I want to show it to you guys because I hope for anyone who's struggling with place training, to me, this would be the most motivating sequence ever, because she had a video that made the hair on the back of my neck stand up a couple weeks ago, and I came down on her and I said, Aaron, it's a 0 tolerance. We're not going to allow this to keep going. And she, I think, did it because I saw a video of her and it was beautiful. So I'm going to share that. Picking out my pup tomorrow. Zach, you're going to have Zach go back, man. The Spry stuff is going to be just gold for you. Golden. Curtis Carlson joined in. Curtis, how are you doing? We were having some problems. Curtis was having some struggles. I think he's got a dominance issue in his house, and it's not with him. He's got his partner in crime there, his wife, and there's some struggles going on with the same consistency with Curtis and Curtis's wife with the pup, and it's affecting things. So, Curtis, how are we doing there? Are dogs ever too old to teach? Order the pack? No. Not at all. But what you have to realize, Kate, is that for however old the dog is, it believes it already has the pack thing figured out. So now we have to change that. I always tell people it takes a lot longer to train bad habits out than good habits in. So I always try to push good habits early. But they're never too old, no. Because things in the wild, things in the pack are constantly evolving and changing. You need to change it, and you can see she just wants to move. That butt's one line over. I need her there. So yes, you can do it, Kate. Give me some more information on your dog. Give me some more information on some of the problems you're having. Checking in how he's doing. Checking in how she's doing. How is she doing? She's doing well, Justin. Thank you for checking back in. We're moving along. I'm starting with a 7-month-old dog. Is there anything I should do different than if I was starting with a small pup? Great question, Sam. The answer is no. Don't care how old they are. Training's training. And so this is an analogy, and the process is the same. So this is an analogy. There, we're back.
I wonder if they heard you witching.
I wonder if you could hear my...
Do you guys hear the F-bombs?
I just can't stand it. I'm sitting in my house, and I can't get reception. So, I'm going to go back. So I was making a point. So Sam asked the question. We'll see how many people dropped off. We'll see if we can get anybody back on. But we're back. So if you want to share away, we're back. So Sam, your question was 7-month-old dog. Is there anything I should do different than if I was starting with a small pup? And that's a great question. No, because the process doesn't change based on how old your dog is. There's a starting point and an ending point, and a bunch of points in between that are sequential. So my analogy to that is, if I'm going to teach a second grader to play basketball, let's say a first grader or a kindergartner. If I'm going to teach a kindergartner, because I think that's when our kids started playing basketball, was like kindergarten. If you're going to teach a kindergartner to play basketball, I have to start out by teaching them some pretty basic stuff with basketball. I have to teach them how to dribble. I teach them how to shoot. I teach them how to pass. Okay, three pretty basic things: shoot, pass, dribble. Now, is that all there is to basketball? No, there's a lot more to basketball. But shooting, dribbling, and passing are really core parts of the game. So if my kid is in kindergarten and I start him out on that, that's how I would start teaching them some of the things to make them be basketball players. Well, if you're a 4th grader or a 6th grader or an 8th grader or a 25-year-old person, and you want to learn how to play basketball, and you ask me to explain to you how to play basketball, my approach for you to learn how to play the game of basketball when you're in 8th grade is going to be, first, I think you need to work on figuring out how to dribble the ball. You're going to have to figure out how to pass the ball. You're going to have to figure out how to shoot the ball. It's basic. You need to have that in order to play basketball. But it doesn't matter if you're in 8th grade or kindergarten or 30 years old. Basketball is basketball. And you have to have those things in place in order to do it. Well, with your dog at 7 weeks old and my pup, or 7 months old and my pup at 7 weeks old, I have to, in order to get a dog to where I want him to get, in the field or in the house, it's going to start out with patience and steadiness and establishing themselves in the pack and all these basic things. Sit, recall. Now, you're 7 months into it. I doubt you are a blank slate. You probably have some habits formed, probably about 5 months of habits. Now, some of them may be good, which is awesome. Some of them may be bad, which will need to be reversed. But the starting point, regardless of where you are, I guess it's not regardless, depending on where you are. Just a little scooter. Come on. Sit. Depending on where you are, Sam, is where I would say you have to start in the beginning, but you may accelerate through some of the stuff quicker if you've got any type of foundation work. You may be slowed up greatly if you have problems with your foundation, but the starting point remains the same, and then you work process, because you might have stuff missing. So start at square one, then pick square one up and go to square two, and then pick square one and square two up and move to square three. You don't go from square one to square two. You bring square one with you. So start in the beginning, work your way through. Our puppy DVD, we use a puppy that's 8 weeks old. I think we've got a couple that are close to 6 months old. We've got one that's must be about a little over a year in it. So we use 3 different age dogs in that DVD, and the reason is because I can't show you all the stuff I need to with an 8-week-old puppy in a puppy DVD. But I also think in order to get started right, I have to show you the stuff I'm doing with an 8-week-old puppy, and then a couple-month-old puppy, and then a year-old puppy, and then maybe even older. Probably could have went with an even older dog in it. So Nick Gibbs was in. Welcome, Nick. Megan joined in. Scotty was stopped on retrieving on Tuesday, so was stopped on retrieving on Tuesday, so we took off a week. We did find 4 planted antlers on the 7th day. Took last 2 days off. Did good on the 4 mouth is full of teeth right now. He'll be 6 months. So Wayne, remind me of where we were at. There was an issue, and I thought we had agreed that it was teething, but maybe I'm thinking of somebody else too. But that sounds good. Melissa Stone joined in. Welcome, Melissa. My mom just got a Great Dane, 8 months old, whose owner. There's what I was looking for. Look at that pup. Good. Very good. Yes, I'm talking about you. You guys can blow her up with thumbs and pink hearts. Let's see. Whose owner didn't give her attention she deserved? Let her run during the day in kennels as soon as they got home, so no personal contact. Since my mom has adopted her a week ago, the dog will not doing anything independent, always wanting attention, and whines a lot when she's kenneled. She also took her for a car ride yesterday, went into the store and came out to have her tore up papers and stuff. I know she needs lots of work with obedience. I have advised my mom to kennel her at times and just let her whine it out. You've mentioned it in some lives. Absolutely. The reason the problem with the dog chewing stuff up in the car was your mom's fault. Don't bring the dog and leave it in the car unattended. It's gonna tear stuff up. It's probably really got. Now you start talking about some separation anxiety, Chris. Is this what you're talking about? Because what you've explained to me, there's a lot of stuff in that dog's past that we have to figure out. We have to get a dog comfortable. Hard to get stuff out of dogs when they have issues. Hard to get the most out of people when they have issues. But we all have issues. And consequently, our dogs will too. You have to deal with the issues and then get maximum out of them, just like us. So I'd reverse engineer this entire story, and I'd back up and I'd say, let's start picking it apart with the very basics. We're not going to let the dog run during the day. We're not going to... I'm not sure... I don't understand. They let it run, and then they kenneled it as soon as they got home. Like, why would they kennel it when they were gone? Why'd they let it run when they were... I don't understand that, but... so, no personal contact. So, just trust is probably an issue. Okay? So, trust issues would be worked on. With all of this foundational stuff, that's building trust. So I would start out at feeding times. I don't know what the feeding schedule is, but I could get feeding. I can get a lot accomplished with the dog, trusting me, respecting me, honoring, patience, all that stuff with feeding. So Chris, I'd recommend her to start with that. When you don't have the ability to watch the pup, the dog, it's in a kennel. It's just not going to get into trouble when it's in a kennel. I'd place train it. Place train it so it felt safe. So, yeah, I think it all boils down probably to obedience work. But it's foundational. And it starts with one little baby step and then goes from there. Matt Tandy joined in. Welcome, Matt. Had a great weekend. So, Chris went down to Wild Rose. I think you had beginning workshop down there. So he says, Wild Rose this past weekend. Learned a lot. I was given an 11-month-old loner pup that was great. She made me look like I knew what I was doing. Mike and the trainers were great to work with and learn from. I felt like I was cheating a little because they were covering a lot you have gone over on the live sessions. Can't wait for the new pup to get here this summer. Thanks for sharing. Absolutely. Guys, I went to those workshops 14 years ago. Like when I went to the workshops, their kennel was really, really little. I love what they do down there. I love their culture that they've built. So the experience, I think, is phenomenal to see, because what you saw lots of dogs raised in a similar culture. Come here. Don't you scoot. Sit. 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 And to me, that's huge, Chris. So you got a huge jump start doing that. So I bet you're excited for this summer. This summer's going to be pretty sweet for you. Let's see. Should I work on liver drags with my 5-month-old that's teething? Sure, Dusty. Absolutely. We're going to do it with this puppy this weekend. Now my connection's getting weak, so I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. Understand the creeper. Curtis has the creeper. Been working on that. Tie out was a train wreck today. Barking, barking, barking. Curtis is going through a little bit of a bump. Can sense it. Can read it. I mean, it's obvious. Get through it, bud. Don't panic. Don't panic, because your dog senses it as much as anything. Baby steps, man. Baby steps. Find something good and build on it. Thanks. He really doesn't fight it or fuss too much. Tonight he barked a bit. Once he stopped and sat down, I got out there, praised him, and got him off the toes. So I guess I'm doing it right. Yes, you are, Jeff. Thanks for the email and reassurance on my heel work. Looking forward to the DVD arrive. Melissa, it shipped. I saw it go out. I actually sent it out myself. So you're probably going to get it tomorrow. You bet. Melissa sent me a great couple emails of some of the heel work with some questions on it. And We talked about she's got some things with collars. She's more of a trust thing with collars and shock collars. We're talking. So we had quite an exchange. So we will. Melissa's going to be at a workshop. Speaking of workshops, we had a guy cancel. Both our workshops are full. We had a cancellation in Buffalo County this week. So I am going to post that probably tonight. There's one spot. So if you guys are interested or know someone who's interested, we got one spot. What size are your cots at home? Thinking a large for my GSP. This is an extra large, and the ones over here are mediums. So I think medium up to about 65, 70 pounds is probably pushing it. Now that's not going to give them a ton of room. I don't think they need a ton of room. Large, probably 70 pounds and bigger. Extra large, that takes a big dog. I can put 2 of them on there. And we do. A lot of times we're putting 2 dogs on it. So GSP, you're probably in that 50 to 60 pound range, I'm guessing. Maybe a little smaller. You probably could get away with a medium or a large. So either one. When do you start game recovery if that's the main focus? Justin, we've talked about time. There's no set time to do any of this stuff. And you know that. I'm going to talk to you about where are your struggles, what are you doing well with. That's where you need to spend most of your time. Now, when can you start? 8 weeks old. I've done them. I've had dogs as young as 8 weeks old do liver drags. This puppy right here is 16 weeks old. She hasn't done it yet. She's going to be a tracker. So am I worried about it? No. Am I going to do it this weekend? Yeah. So there's no set time, Justin. This isn't when and you've asked enough questions now. You probably knew I was going to say that. There's not a set date. There's not a set number. There's not a set anything like that when it comes to it. So when do you start? When the dog's ready and you're ready. That's an open-ended question. How do I get to see the early training videos? Patrick, you go back on our video tab. Justin covered it for me there. Facebook saves them. Our Instagram ones don't. We did do some live on Instagram. Patrick, one of the things, if you're on Instagram, follow us there too, DogBone Hunter. You're going to get some extra stuff. I'm using Instagram to do more day-to-day quick things, just short live things of what we're doing. It's in our story. So we used it a little bit differently. Here's where we throw us, so we're way behind. Oof, I got to wrap this up, guys. Let's see. I ordered the large cot. Does it matter what size you get as far as a puppy? Should you start with a small cot as a puppy and move? No, doesn't matter, Missy. Don't get more than one cot. I think kennels do. Kennels matter. We want to start with a real small one, or they're going to have accidents on one end and live on the other. The bed doesn't matter. I think the bed, as big as it fits in your house. So because I have 4 of them in my living room, I couldn't get away with 4 larges or extra larges. So I prefer mediums, and mediums fit my dogs. But I think if you got one, there's a change. Nice change. If you've got one that, I wouldn't, if I was having one bed, I'd probably have a large in my house. But I've got 4 of them in the living room, and we don't have room for 4 larges. So I've got one extra large because I can double dogs up on it. I put 2 on it at the same time, and we do that a lot. And then I've got smaller ones because I'm going to have more dogs. So it just kind of depends on your space. We're closing the gap of common grounds of training, taking baby steps. This is Curtis with his wife. So perfect. Wi-Fi issues. I don't even know if I might not have Wi-Fi. I just have Y. You didn't hear. We didn't hear any. Yeah, I said stuff I shouldn't have. Don't feel bad. I can't get reception in my house either. Missed the temper tantrum. F this. Robbie Schmidt. Brian Britton joined. Brooke Christine got in. No problem, Brooke. You can go back. I've watched all your DVDs and the Live with Spry series. Got pages of notes written down. Excited for the new training coming. Awesome, Zach. It's awesome. If you're putting that much effort into this, Zach, you're going to get results. One thing I haven't talked about much, guys, is the fact that none of this stuff happens by just watching live videos. None of this stuff happens by watching a DVD. You have to do it. You have to put work in. So it's not hard work. It's not complicated work. It is work. You'll have to do it. And if you're willing to put that much work in, Zach, ahead of time, you're going to have results, guaranteed. Wish you'd do it in Central Illinois. We're gonna try to do more, but it's a travel thing and it's a schedule thing, so we're limited with how much ability we have to do them. Spry really staying good tonight. She's doing well. Workshops in Texas, Nebraska, you guys. Okay, wrap it up. Mark joined in. I gotta wrap it up. I'm out of here. I saw Mark come on. No, I'm just kidding. We started with a big kennel and put a Tupperware in the back to limit space. Mike, yep. I've seen all sorts of different ways where you can box that thing off and make it smaller, and then as the pup gets bigger, you take stuff out so that the pup, you only have to buy one kennel. So, okay, guys, we got 2 in today, number 59 and number 60. We're going to continue. I made a commitment. I'm going to try to do these more often than I. I'll make the commitment to do them if you guys do the commitment to help me grow them. Okay, share away. Let people know that you think this might help. You see, she's getting kind of whiny. She's getting fussy. She's got to go to the bathroom. I can almost be sure that she's got to go to the bathroom. So we're going to shut her down. Robbie, good night to you. We'll be back tomorrow, though. Robbie, good to see you guys again. Say hello to the family. Looking forward to next month, man. We're 2 weeks away from the Wisconsin one workshop, and we are 7 weeks. And Robbie, anyone who, Melissa, anyone who is looking for the, I'm going to have an email going out on that Buffalo County workshop. I've got lodging options for you guys, so that's all going to be going out soon. I'll be working on that. And I'll also be trying to share Aaron Garlock's. I'm making mental notes right now. Aaron Garlock's videos. I'm going to repost the flyer for Buffalo County. 1 spot left in the workshop. So you guys have a great night. We'll talk with you soon.